going into our first map, Coastline. Just a little bit of a breakdown of what's going to be going on in the grand finale. For those not already aware, it is a best of 3, first to 2 grand finale. We're going to be doing 15-minute breaks in between the streams. The first map being Coastline, of course the maps being banned out until the last 3, deciding the 3 maps we'll be playing here. The first map being Coastline, the second being Villa, and our decider map going to be Clubhouse, if both teams get 1 map on their shoulders and we have to go to a 3rd map. Going to be a long one for everybody in the chat, but as I said, there will be breaks if anyone wants to stick through the entire competition. Just a quick reminder for everybody watching, if you would like to support our community, support the stream, support the Discord, anything of the sort, and allow us to do more tournaments like this in the future, there are several avenues in which you can partake to help us out. You can follow the Twitch, you can join the Discord, or if you'd really like to help us out, you can purchase any products from our affiliate Red Dragon to get us a portion of the income to help us, obviously, remake, recreate, and better our server. Obviously all optional. Services are free. We're here just to have fun. Nothing more than that. Although, maybe a little bit more competitive than my personal view for the 2 teams in the game right now. Down to the last game, so close to their cash prize, to their nice Discord tag, the tournament champion. Obviously, everybody wants that. Let's take a look at the bans here. A Clash ban. Don't see that too often. Coming out of pretty much nowhere, not many people thinking that that would be a worthy ban, and the Zofia ban probably being a target ban on any of the players in the matchup here. Thatcher and Mira being pretty common bans. Seems like the Futa Fnatics going for a bit of a weird strategy here, bringing the Blitz, Monty, Finka, Nook, and Ash. That's not a lineup you see a lot. Moving over to the defense, a bit more of a sensible lineup. Really not sure what's going on with the Tachanka pick. Weird that that's been brought here, but I'm not one to judge. Most people would use Tachanka to troll, but I'm assuming in this context there might be some sort of reasoning that they can explain their actions. I don't know. Either way, their pick and it's their loss, so we'll have to see what happens. Disfigure Gaming versus Futa Fnatics. Let's see what happens. Gonna be a bit of a weird Jaeger setup there. We see all 3 ADSs being placed in deep hookah there. A lot of this just feels a little bit off. Not sure about the strategy being encompassed here by the defenders. And of course the attackers too. I'm really not quite certain on the reasoning behind their picks here. Their lineup really not making too much sense, nor is their attack strategy. To some extent, obviously, it's good to clear out from the east to start. A early pick going onto the dock of the defense as he's able to make a Aquarium runout work in his favor. Taking out the Nook. Solo pushing over by Balcony. Wow, a very aggressive runout from the Jaeger here, completely vaulting the Balcony, looking for early picks, but it's not going to be in his favor as all of the attack playing over by VIP, clearing from the east side and preparing for the attack. Ash looking for a early pick through the wall there, pushing up VIP, a second pick for the defense there, and a third. Finally, a refrag coming in from the Monty there, able to take out the dock of the defense, but it's slim pickings, and another pick going for I can't even keep up. Almost a flawless round for the defense, only 1 falling, as Tachanka to get the final pick onto the Monty. We saw there not too much competition in the ways of the Futa Fnatics, not providing too much competent attack strategy there. Didn't really see not even a sign that there was any possibility we might see a victory from them. The first pick coming after 2 of their teammates had been either spawn peeked or flicked on in some sense of the name, just being taken out very early in the matchup, and their teammates quickly following, the shield strategy not working in their favor. Seeing here a similarly janky, although I would say probably a step in the right direction setup from the blue team, and definitely a improvement for the orange team, bringing actually competent and useful operators. Chachenka. Although, just as I say that for the blue team, a 6-pick onto the fuse makes me question my sanity once again. Not really sure the reasoning or the context behind these picks, but one way or another, that's going to be what it is. We're locked in and moving into round number 2. Really don't know why these teams are bringing these operators, but more specifically the blue team, the Futa Fnatics. Doesn't really make sense for them to be playing the way that they are, but either way, maybe it'll work. I have no idea, truly. Seems unlikely that it'll be able to bring them any success in any sense of the word, but maybe it can. I am not the person in control here. Fuse in this context with a first floor site like Blue Bar could actually work in their favor if they're able to clear out the top floor. Doesn't seem likely that it's going to be a easy task though, as it seems like we're seeing a lot of upstairs play coming from the orange team. Almost an easy pick for the blue team there, as Bandit stays a little bit too long outside, and Capitao is almost able to take his head off. Spawn Peaks coming in from Doc, and he's able to make it happen again. That just cannot happen. The fuse falls in the first 15 seconds of the round. It's going to be Doc to get a second spawn peel from the same exact spot onto a similarly positioned player. Not even a different direction in which he's peeking. The attacker's taking it slow and steady, holding the angles, waiting for peaks. Fortunately, a refrag coming in from Lips as he's able to pick off the Warden in Blue Bar. Evening the game out, it's going to be Ash to play over by Office, possibly trying to go for Aquarium there, but a missed drone will cause him to push in somewhere else. Capital picking gunfights. Is going to be a run out from Bandit there as he's able to pick off not one but two of the attackers outside of Hookah Balcony. Finally, a refrag coming in from Jackal as he's able to pick off the aggressive Ella. Oh no, the Nitro Cell coming out and almost picking off the Jackal, but fortunately a few centimeters will save him. Bandit just not giving any ground whatsoever towards his opponents, just restlessly, endlessly pushing up and looking for those kills. It's been working for him so far, so why not in the future? Not quite sure of his attacker's location. He's having to do some guesswork as to where they may be located. Ash being pretty close into the site here, looking to make a push in, trying to get that Ella mine off before he pushes in, but unfortunately is shut down by the smoke there. The canister coming out and taking a bit of health off of him, also locating to him that his position has been noticed and he is no longer in a safe enough position. The Jackal pretty much stuck here, having to bounce between one attacker to another. Fortunately, though, the pick from Ash actually evening the round out and giving a possibility of hope to the attackers here, just making things work with their positioning and gun skill. Ash flicking back and forth between the attackers, not quite sure where he wants to devote himself to, really putting this round on his back here. Hearing the drop into Courtyard, he's going to have to focus on dealing with the simultaneous defenders that are locking down his position, and the Jackal, who doesn't seem very clear in planting, somehow not realizing that the site is actually in Blue Bar, even though his teammate is actually on the site right now. Two remaining fenders being Doc and Bandit, holding down, waiting for a push, but the Bandit going to be located with that Jackal track, and it's going to be the Ash to take the play onto site. Jackal able to get that refrag onto the Bandit, and now it's down to a 1v1 between the Jackal and the Doc. All he has to do is hide, but the Jackal's actually able to get the plant down. Oh no, he's going to be exposed in the open, not choosing a good enough plant spot, and Disfigure Gaming going to be taking the second round quite at the very last second, a much closer round than we saw before, but nonetheless a Disfigure round in the end. Taking the game 2-0 so far. Not too shabby, I would say. Obviously, not a round win for the Futa Fnatics, but definitely a step in the right direction as they move closer towards a closer game. Going to be a Monty Bradout again from the attack. I think hoping that now in different contexts of the site, obviously going to Kitchen is going to be working better in their favor. The Nomad also being a recent pick along with the Ying. Seeing Ying banned a lot less now after her recent nerf after the buff. Having been buffed in the previous Friday, she had an almost 100% ban rate for the entire week until Ubisoft pulling back one of her Candelas in a recent nerf change, causing her to again become closer to balanced and her ban rate significantly going down once again. Still quite overpowered with those smoke grenades being added to her kit, but definitely a good direction to be taking, closer to what I would say a balanced operator could be. Anyway, for the Kitchen defense, for the defenders here, bringing a absolutely fitting lineup to help them secure down the site. The Legion there going to be a direct counter to the Monty of the defense, attack. And that Vigil going to be far off-site, I would assume, in a few seconds. Going to be holding down from afar. Plenty of spawn peaks coming out early to keep things interesting. Fortunately, though, for the attackers, none of them having spawned ruins, going to be saving their bacon. Vigil going for that quick run out with the Bashi, but missing both of his shots, doing absolutely nothing for his team, but taking a little bit of damage. The attack pushing up slowly and steadily, not quite sure where the attack is going to be coming from. Nice skin on that Ying there, pushing with the Monty, hoping to take supply quick without disruption. Bandit and the Doc hopefully going to be realizing soon that the attack is not going to be coming from where they think it is, and it seems like that is so, as they're rotating over to the main stairs to take over the site once again, having left their teammates quite underpowered in the fight against the very heavy stack of attackers playing over by there. The Nitro coming out and almost a pick, but he's able to run away, but in return, Jackal able to get the very aggressive attack of the front entrance. Oh no, that is a quick refrag for the Vigil as he gets a one-tap onto the Nomad outside supply, and another shot coming from the Doc as he picks off the Jackal of the attack, putting us in a man advantage again for the defense. Valkyrie playing upstairs, just waiting for an opportunity to run out on these guys, similar to Bandit's position right now. It's going to be a repel up from the Ying as VIP is being taken by him and Thermite. Bandit running out, and the Vigil, oh no, quickly refragged by the Ying as he's able to rappel down and help their brother out of Monty. Unfortunately, though, he's going to be shot from behind, I think by his teammate there, actually lit up, all left down to the Ying outside, and he's not going to be alive for too long as he falls down. The Valkyrie getting the final pick, and it's going to be a 3-0 lead for the defenders of Disfigure Gaming. Absolutely clobbering their opponents here. Not too much else to be said. Really not too much being done right now by the attackers. They're not bringing what I would say to be the correct operators for the situation. They're not, they're not pushing together as a team. They're not making much progress of anything in the moment. Although sometimes winning out the gunfights not nearly significantly enough to win out any rounds. And on top of that, the fuse pick for the blue team not looking good on them. Can't say I respect a team coming to the grand finales and bringing a fuse almost every single round. I mean, if it's part of a strategy, that's fine, but I haven't seen him actually significantly doing anything with the fuse pick this entire game, having mostly getting spawn peek before he can use it. Getting to be a bit more of a willy-nilly team on the defense, as Disfigure Gaming feeling much more comfortable in their position, deciding to bring the Frost Caveira, and most of all, that's a Chonka pick. Definitely not stuff that you would normally see on a coastline defense.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Camera feed up and running.
Going to be up to Penthouse for the defenders as they go back to their final map before we rotate back to Hookah. Defense probably lined up pretty well here to go against whatever they're facing, right? A lot of utility in the correct positions to deal with their opponents. The Frost actually probably going to be working in their favor here if there is not a penthouse window play. It seems though most of the defense actually playing completely on the other side of the map, or in fact actually all of them. The entirety of the defenders playing over by Hookah. Not quite sure why, but either way, it's their strategy, and it is what it is. A run out onto Ruins, unfortunately, going to be completely inaccurate to the actual push of the attack, as they almost completely spawn over by the east side of the map. Going to be a confrontation here between the Maverick and the Frost. He's close up. Unfortunately, not even able to make it happen as he gets shut down by the Valkyrie from the left side.
Defender has left the area of operation.
Renault's coming from the defense, not going to be effective though, as all of the attackers now having made it to the roof and probably planning on making a luggage or aquarium push of some kind, seeming as that's where they're pushing. All of the defense there playing over, just kind of all spread out, no rhyme or reason to their location whatsoever. See a repel over by the Blitz as he's able to get onto the aquarium balcony and look to pick a fight here with the Frost playing over by Office. Almost pick there for the attack as Caveira runs out in front of the open area in the middle of the map. Fuse missing a lot of important shots and is able to run through and get a pick over in Aquarium. Finally, a shot coming back from one of the attackers, but it's not going to last as an advantage very long, as picks coming back out from the defense even things back out again in their favor for a 4-2 advantage. A lot of missed shots here from Dokkaebi, just everything going over the head. Just not quite sure what is going on with their strategy here. Gonna be Caveira preparing for a run out here. Dokkaebi predicting it, but still missing the shots. I think Dokkaebi has missed every single bullet this round with that DMR, having almost expended 40 rounds so far from her total capacity, as we see there in the bottom. Not exactly the type of person you would want to be using a DMR if I were you. She's playing there. Really not much at all happening here for the Fuse. A easy kill again being thrown away by the attackers. Has a plain in sight Valkyrie holding a Deagle, is not even shut down after that. And even somehow a pick coming out from the Caveira, and how that works, I have no idea. But it's an utter and complete crapshoot as the defense clobbering the attack with no remorse. Not much positive that can be said right now about the Futa Fnatics. I'd love to say that they have a possibility of coming back here, but they are showing no effort or motivation whatsoever to bring a proper lineup up until this point, or even make an attempt at a aggressive push, and missing so many shots on the defense here. I don't know if there's any possibility that they could come back if they don't significantly change the way that they're playing every single round and make the best effort of it. Possibly a bit more serious this round with the Hibana and IQ being brought for the blue team, but the Blitz pick still on their lineup. Not sure if that is the correct move for the Futa Fnatics. On the orange team, a similarly, I'd say a much more reasonable roster, a lineup from Disfigure Gaming, actually quite useful, although I'd say the Frost pick still being kind of a troll pick. Not sure how useful he will be in this particular situation. We'll have to see. He hasn't quite been useful so far, but that doesn't mean he won't be in the future. From what we've seen, though, so far in these rounds, it's been a little bit like candy being taken from a baby. Futa Fnatics not putting up too much effort and not being able to give much damage back. As we saw in the last round, defenders running rampant in front of them in the open skylight in the middle of the map, not able to land any of the bullets on any of the defenders running by, seeming like they have glue on the bottom of their mouses, not able to land any shots onto their opponents. Hopefully, though, these are just warm-up rounds, able to, of course, this is their first match of the game. Well, Disfigure Gaming has already played an entire match just 15 minutes ago. Going to be a run out here from Easy Clap on the Jaeger, running the red dot suppressor lineup. Obviously, the new meta that I just haven't heard about yet. Actually deciding to rotate away, saving the run out for someone else. It's actually going to be Rook going for the spawn peak with the P90, possibly a hip fire attempt. Unfortunately for him, all of the attackers again deciding to do a main lobby push. Going to be Rose Surge on the Finka. The red dot king to push over with the sledge and try for a aquarium push here into the site. Obviously, being on blue bar, a very vulnerable spot if you're not being vigilant as to the location of your opponents. The Doc locating and hearing from his senses the location of the attackers, and oh no, the blitz falling down to that Doc there. The nade of the attackers locating their position for him. He's going to be able to know at least one other is playing in a similar location and look to continue his rampage of death with his spawn peaks. Hearing the Finka boost now, he is absolutely ready to make something work, and here's another one out there, but he's already killed by the Jaeger before he can get the kill. The defenders tripping over their own feet, getting these kills. They're not even able to act on each other as they are just destroying everyone so quickly. The Habana having just pushed up to try to kill the Doc from earlier, but as of right now, not having made anything work, and now being all left up to the Habana as she is the only remaining attacker being located upstairs. Possibly going to get the first pick here of his team, and he will be able to. Pyre falling down to the Type 89. Looking for more, though. His location now revealed. Going to be swinging around, looking for the pick onto the Doc, and able to get a second there, possibly actually making something of it. All of the defenders remaining going out onto the far ruins roof, and this could actually be winnable for Evasive as he gets another pick onto the Rook far out on ruins. Trying to make a comeback here. It is surprising to see him doing so well, but fortunately for him, having the advantage of all of the defenders revealing their locations so easily for him, and he's almost able to get another one, but hitting body shots against a 1-speed is not going to do him very well. Doc going to be able to defuse very quickly, and it's going to be a 5th round for Disfigure Gaming as they get a EV next round, putting themselves 2 away from taking the first map and moving on to a match point map, so close to their cash prize. Again, really not too much to say here on the diagnosis of the round. There's not too much complex strategy that a 5-year-old couldn't understand here. Gonna just have to keep moving with the round count, hoping that maybe the Futa Fnatics will be able to pull out some little piece of strategy, maybe make something work. Who knows? Seeing even more weird plays here coming from the defense, switching up their lineup again to include a Oryx and an Ella. Weird combination.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Going back to Hookah, hoping to use their earlier strategy to get themselves another easy round on the board. Coming dangerously close to a 7-0 victory here on the last round of the half. not too much else that can be said in favor of the orange team here. Sorry, the blue team. They're going to have to keep trying their best to get some momentum, get some effort going from the, their last round of the attack side, hoping to get a 5-1 split and then maybe make it back on defense, but just the way that they're playing right now, they don't have the utility, the gameplay. Just none of their strategy is going to be able to hold up from what we're seeing with Disfigure Gaming. Seems like we're going to have a little bit of a party over by Theater as Kavera and Bandit get very intimate with each other. Oryx rotating over to join in on the fun at 90. It's going to be most of the attackers to be located by the main entrance, possibly trying to make something of this as they seem to be pushing very coordinated, all together and ready to make something of this push. Attackers taking the top floor very quickly. Seems like, though, all of the defense being very in position to deal with them. Not going to be much else to it. They are very in position here. Oh, looking to get the one tap from the Ela here as he peeks over the roof, seeing flickers of someone's head, but not quite sure as to his location. Oh no, a few whiffs, but he's going to be retraded back as the Sledge finally knowing his position, looking for the headshot, and is going to get it. Oh, for the first time, a actual decent round advantage for the attack. Futa Fnatics could actually have a chance here in getting a round on the board, and they get another kill. Very exciting. For the first time in the game, we see some actual competitive advantage for the Futa Fnatics as they get themselves into a 5v2 situation. Not sure what he was thinking there. That doesn't seem to be a very smart move from Leo going around. Oh, but it's down to a 1v4, and things are looking very good for the attack, and it's going to be finally the last round of the half going to the Futa Fnatics as they finally get themselves in line. Very interesting from the attack here. It seems like when it comes down to it, when they were actually planning to make the push, they just completely bodied the defense. The Disfigure Gaming were absolutely smacked that round. It seems like, I don't want to call it too early, but there's a possibility that they are ringing this game. Futa Fnatics having been so destructively taken down for so many rounds and then out of nowhere just completely bodying. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens, but maybe a ringer team that we didn't see coming. Obviously, that would be the biggest upset that I've ever seen. Teams so thoroughly believed to take an L in the grand finale coming back, it would be insane, but we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, Disfigure Gaming not planning on... Someone take a screenshot of Dasher's messages there before he decides to take them back. We're going to be holding him to that right now. Now, if you wouldn't mind, please just capturing that, get your snippet tool out, and getting that. Thank you very much, Dagger. You can Discord that to me later. And we will be holding Dasher to that in a few rounds as he unfortunately makes a bet that I don't think that he's going to be able to keep himself to. As I said, very good possibility that Futa Fnatics are going to be able to make some form of a comeback here. I did say they did look very strong in that round as they were finally able to make a coordinated push, even from the first moments of the round, seemingly being very strong. Yes, I will not be telling them to lose a round for those in the chat. It will have to be fair and square. We'll let the game continue on as it will. But Dasher having sent a second message after that, obviously agreeing to the terms fair and square as they were set. If there is another legit round for the Futa Fnatics in this game, now on defense, it will be penis pictures from Dasher for everybody in the server to see. Possibly that'll be our new prize pool for anybody wishing to support the server. If you're interested, just PayPal and what just happened. we'll have to come back to that later, as a complete shit show of a round functioned. I think that was a 4K. I can't even keep track of what's happening right now, but a very quick round for Disfigure Gaming, able to close it out on attack before things even got started. Now on to match point. Yes, Dasher, I agree with that. I don't think you really understood what just happened there, but I think most people in the chat being a little bit quicker on their head than Dasher. After all, we know. Special Child, don't have to dwell on it though. Everybody's got their issues. Going into round number 8, we're going to have to see if there is any possibility of a comeback for the Futa Fnatics. Obviously not a very solid round. Having been so quickly taken, I can't even keep track of what happened there, but we're just going to have to hope that they can bounce back from whatever that crapshoot of a round was and maybe make something of the next few rounds. Would not be very moralizing for Futa Fnatics to go into game number 2 having just lost 1-7, so we're going to have to hope that they can make some sort of a momentum to make things work. If they can at least die or, lose the game faithfully with some sort of a round count that is respectable, then I think that they're going to have better confidence going into game number 2, and the possibility of a comeback will be much greater than if they lose so devastatingly as it seems like they are going to right now. Similar lineup coming in from Disfigure Gaming, as bringing just a complete screw up of a lineup. I don't even know what their idea is here for that. Oh, quick kill going out onto Lips as he goes for a run out from Aquarium and is shut down by the Lion in Ruins. It's going to be now a man disadvantage for Futa Fnatics, even though we were really hoping that they were going to be able to make some effort of a comeback. It seems less likely now, already having lost a player. The far Ruins play coming out here from the Lion, holding down the angles, as well as the Fuse here. It's going to be Rook and Doc left to hold down together, but the Frost Trap coming to their savior. Lion, though, taking the map very quickly. A lot of picks coming out for the attack here. It's left all up to the Jaeger and the Doc holding down faithfully inside of Billiards, and it's all left up now to Jaeger to hold down the first map. Will Dasher be sending nudes to everybody in the server? It seems unlikely, but there's still a possibility as a TK turned into a double kill, as Evasive is able to make some effort whatsoever of making a comeback, and a second one. It is all on the wire, not only to keep Futa Fnatics in the game, but as everyone, I'm sure, is excited for, they're not throwing. The TK being, I assume, unintentional, and then the 3K being fully fair for the defense. Now the only remaining player being functioned. Hard to say the motivation levels of the attackers one way or another. Seems like, no, Fuse actually going for a legitimate push here as he wants to close the round out. Looking to take out Evasive here and keep his team rolling on that 7-1 steam. Oh no, don't do it. Oh boy. Hard to make a case now for whether or not the Disfigure Gaming is throwing or not. I guess that seals it. Fortunately, no pictures going to be sent from Dasher, as that was a very intentional throw. Not even sure the purpose at this point. Might as well just get it over with. But one way or another, that is round number 8 going to the Futa Fnatics, as Fuse walked into the Frost Trap and ends the round quickly. I don't even know what to say about this match anymore. Not even close to the intensity that we've been seeing from previous games. going into round number 9, it seems like the orange team, having fed up with throwing, deciding to finally close the game out, bringing a actually very competent roster, looking to finish everything off before things get too far out of hand.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Not sure what kind of question that is, Dasher. I think if you want to pursue that route for the game, just for everyone listening, apparently there was a possible surrender mark from Futa,
Bomb located by attackers.
possibly not wanting to finish the game since things are being so dominant. Obviously, things getting worked out in the background. We're going to have to see what happens, but seems like Futa not wanting to put the effort in to try to make a comeback. We'll have to see what happens.
10 seconds left before.
Not sure why that is a capitalization thing, Dasher, but we'll have to wait on what happens. For the meantime, we will assume that... Interesting. No need to spam right there. We'll just have to continue on with the game as if things were normal, considering we don't have too much information on terms of whether or not things are going to be carried through to the end. Not sure what the issue is here, but obviously a technical issue. We'll just have to continue on with the game as if nothing's wrong, because I don't see any problem currently. I don't know what the issue might be. Either way, the defense heavily stacking near the sunrise window, looking to take site control very quickly. Oh, some of the... Okay. That is interesting. I've never seen that before. Looks like two of the attackers, having locked themselves outside of the map, can't even view it there. Not sure how that happened. Yes, Mount Dasher is a little bit crazy. But for those of the attackers who are actually still on the site, it's going to be a intense gunfight with the Jackal there, with the Kavera rotating around. He's still able to get a few shots off and stay alive, which is the important thing. It's going to be the few remaining defenders on site, holding down vital angles to keep everything in sync. Pick coming out from Barris as he wants to keep himself alive. Obviously not ready to give up just yet. Interesting to see what happened there from... I'm not even sure what's going on there, but we will let them figure that out on their own terms. Ash, the lone on-site defender, able to get one shot off onto the defender of Leo on the Rook. Now left in a 1v2 unless his teammates can return to him. Somehow being stuck on a boat. Not even sure how that's possible, but I'll let them to continue their lone vacation out on the side of coastline. Well, Ash does the real dirty work behind everything. Going for a fake point here, looking for shots, and he's able to actually pick off one. He may be able to close this game out all on his own. The only remaining defender being the Kavera over in office. The only one to actually be able to stop him. Kavera waiting for some sound cues, obviously too far away to hear that defuse start to go down. Pushing up just a little bit too late as Ash is going to be able to complete that defuse and hold down the rotate. In a great spot to close this game out right here and now, all on his own. Kavera, his location being notified from the drones there. Seems like Ash is going to be the sole player to actually hold this down, as IQ is still stuck on that boat there, doing his own thing, as IQ often does. Kavera not really sure what to do here. Only a few seconds left to try to get the fuse down, but the Ash getting the intel from his teammates far out on the boat. Oh my goodness, Kavera able to flick up, but unfortunately is not going to have enough time to get the defuse. That is going to be it for Futa Fnatics, as game number 1 goes to the Disfigure Gaming roster. Game number 1, not really sure what happened there. Seems like there was some talk of a possible surrender from Futa Fnatics from some people in the chat, from the calls. We'll have to see if that's actually going to happen or if that is just talk. We will see. But in the meantime, let's assume that we're carrying on as normal. That is going to be game number 1 of the grand finale for the cash tournament. Futa Fnatics versus Disfigure Gaming. Disfigure taking the first map. We'll be right back in 15 minutes or so with the second roster. I will see you all then. Carnage is coming. Let's get this all underway. Going on to our second map, Villa. Possibly going to be the decider. Who knows if Fnatic has what it takes to bring it back. Sorry, Futa Fnatics. Definitely not Fnatic. That might have gone very differently if they were in the driver's seat in this game. But fortunately for Disfigure Gaming, they are not. It is the Futa Fnatics, the watered-down version, the younger brother, the family fuck-up. Gonna have to be taking the replacement and doing their very best to drive this game into victory. Doesn't look like it, though. After the last game, a very definite win. I think that was a 7-1 or 7-2. Can't quite remember the round count. But very close for... Or, sorry, not very close. The opposite of close. About as far as you can get it in a game. Whew. Getting a bit difficult here, going on hour number 3. But we're going to have to do it anyway for the audience, for the community. Lion ban, weird, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. That's what I always have to say when you see bans like this from people who know each other way better than the audience can ever know from a viewing point. Obviously, the Doc and Lion ban having some reasoning behind it, besides simply just being a random ban. And the Mira to conclude our bans. Moving into, finally, game number 2, the match game. All down to this. If Futa Fnatics want to make some sort of comeback, they're going to have to do it right now. Round number 1 with Disfigure Gaming going on to defense first. Going to be looking to close this game out nice and quickly without too many hiccups like they had last game. Going to be sticking on Aviator first, and a pretty solid lineup to accompany that site with the Valkyrie Bandit Rook Vigil Smoke lineup coming with it. Not a bad place to be in whatsoever. And again, a signature kind of weird lineup coming from Futa Fnatics. Obviously, Lips being a Blitz main, no surprises there, but the Capitao pick doesn't really go with what we've seen with them. It doesn't seem like they have a strategy in place to make him as effective as he can be, although the others seemingly more acceptable, with the Sledge Hibana Finka pick being an okay lineup for a take on Aviator, as most people would expect that to be the first sight. Oof. Although I don't want to make things too obvious as to where I lie. If this were an MMA fight, I would say Disfigure Gaming would be Conor McGregor. Futa Fnatics would be a 5-year-old boy with mental challenges. Not many other ways to describe it as well as it. At least that's just because of how they're playing right now. If they were to do anything else, I would change my assessment very quickly. Based on what we know so far from what we've been seeing in this game, I don't know if there's a possibility of a comeback from Fnatics unless they're able to really switch up how they've been playing, bring some different strategies, switch up their attack strategy, and just do some different things and win those gunfights. Otherwise, it's going to be a good night for Bonzo for the defense. Hoping to close this out quickly. Getting ready to do a, seems like steady push primarily. A few of the attackers playing over by Master from spawn. A Nitro spawn peek starting off from the Bandit as he throws out early, looking to get a pick. Unfortunately, only just damaging onto the Blitz, bringing him down to 25 health. Attackers playing slowly, working around the map, trying to find their way towards a point where they can actually make some productive use. And the first pick going towards the Attackers, although quickly refragged by the Valkyrie, and a second one for Valkyrie. Quickly refragged, though, as Sledge is able to get the pick onto Function, who had just recently led so much carnage onto the attacking side. Vigil and Rook tag teaming the 90 quarter, probably not the worst place to play in a duo stack, as it is a very much a crunch point for the Attackers, having to funnel through there on their push towards site by Aviator Door. Just holding by Master, the attack team just waiting for something to go down, not really taking the fight. Obviously they have to eventually, but not aggressively taking the fight to the defenders. When they do, though, not working out in their favor, as we see the third pick of the defense going towards the Rook, as he's able to pick off, oh no, I was about to say pick off the Sledge, and he did indeed do that, but a disconnect coming from Easy Clap here as he is taken out, and it's going to have to be on the timer. Again, if he cannot return in a few rounds, it's going to have to be a forfeit from them if they can't get their lineup stacked together. I'm sure, though, just a quick disconnect, he'll be right back without too much worry. But I would like to re-emphasize, with a game so heavily stacked towards Disfigure Gaming, if their teammate cannot return in the time, it will still be a victory for the heavily underdogged team of Fnatics. Not sure what we do in this scenario. We haven't had anyone's power go out. Obviously, that's going to be a longer time for him to get back. We'll probably give him a bit more of a time, exception there. As long as he can get back in a relatively okay amount of time as to not completely disrupt the flow of the game, there will be no penalty for them. But focusing back on this round, the final remaining player of the attack, trying to get the plant down with the Habana, is able to get it off and try to turn around. Oh my god. Actually, a very nice play coming from Beresor going into round number 1. Getting the plant out, the smoke not finding him, and swinging around, just getting the shot off. A nice little clutch there from the Habana as he's actually able to get the opening round for the attack. Already making some people's predictions incorrect, as they predicted a completely flawless second game, wanting a 7-0 victory. Fortunately for the defense, that disconnect is not going to work in their favor very well. Gonna have to see where we go from here, as to see if the Futa Fnatics can make some sort of a comeback here, build on that round that they just won, and possibly go into a victory.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Either way, it seems like the defense is going to be doing their very best to try and continue this game on. Setting up just normally as they would have with a full stack, looking to bring things back in the next few rounds and get themselves that prize. After all, there is incentive here, and the losing team will not be coming away with that small cash prize that they've been promised, as well as the flashy Discord rank that they have rightly claimed.
10 seconds left before attackers are heading to the bomb.
Obviously, a consistent setup with the defense here, trying to do exactly what they did last round, just a little bit better. The Valkyrie playing over by Master. The Rook setting up over by Aviator with that deployable shield to aid him and their teammates, holding down the site similarly. The attack, though, doing a bit more of a coordinated push here as they attack cohesively together through the study balcony. A few shots from the Rook going onto the repelling slits there, as it looks like it's going to be a downstairs rush now for the attackers. First shot coming out from the Bandit, evening the game out as able to get one, and now two of the attackers. See Leo and Barisor falling, the Heartbreach and the Jackal going down very quickly. The defense getting a man advantage, even with a player disconnected, and a possibly third there as the Finca gets down, and now looking for a fourth. Bandit is able to get it, absolutely decimating these attackers here. Getting a lot of shots off here, leaving Evasive in a 1v4 situation too far away to get that pickup onto his teammate. Swing around slowly, finds the Rook in the exact same position, and is not able to win it again. Somehow thinking that the floor deserves to be shot several times instead of his opponent playing several meters above the line of shooting. Sludge falling to the Rook. Round number 2, going to the defense. Definitely more dominative that round than we were seeing before in the last round. Bandit absolutely carrying for his team, getting a sickening 4K and completely shutting down the push of the Futa Fnatics. Going into round number 3, we've got to see if anything is going to change here from the Futa Fnatics. If they're going to want to be able to do some sort of push, if they want to be able to make anything happen in the ways of getting some rounds on the board, they're going to have to do it soon, as even at a man disadvantage, the defense of Disfigure Gaming on a rampage. Stagnant here as we wait to see if we're going to be loading in anytime soon. Seems like we are, and we're going to be ready to get underway for the defense. Setting up here now on Statuary, having just won over on Aviator. Moving into their second site over, looking to continue momentum from their previous round and get themselves a quick victory going on their last map's win.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb. Loading man! 10 seconds left.
Device placed.
5 seconds remaining. Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Looks to be a possible spawn peek here from the Echo out onto Ruins. Could be very effective as he sees the heads of the Echo, and it is going to be Fuse falling quickly to the spawn peek from the Echo in Master Balcony, evening out the game very quickly for our defense here. And playing in a similar position to get picks onto the push from the attackers. Actually holding the exact same angle as he did before. Possibly going to be just as effective as we saw recently. Echo still holding down the site. The enemy is still a decent ways away, but not too far from a possibility where we could see... Oh! Zofia, just as I was about to say, Zofia taking a lot of site control very quickly, going to be 4-2 for the attack here. Big advantage for our defenders right now. Smoke being the only remaining defender actually on the site. Almost all of the attackers having taken the site completely, and as Smoke just getting picked off. It's all going to be left up to Wame on red stairs, but having only gotten one pick, it is all taken down and is left up to the Habana to get the final kill, putting us in a 2-1 split. Actually seeing that Futa Fnatics able to keep something happening here. Going into round number 4, we're going to have to see if there can be any progress made from the defenders here of Disfigure Gaming, if they can push themselves back into the headlight and close this game out before it is too late. Pretty solid lineup coming from the defense again. I am not quite sure how Futa Fnatics are able to make these rounds work with the Fuse on their side. Actually getting a first round on the board, possibly bringing their confidence back. You could see them actually making some decent progress here if they're able to continue winning these gunfights and getting site cleared out without too many refrags. Pretty standard setup for a statuary defense. Probably going to be trying some different strategy here than we were seeing before. Similar operators coming up. The Legion going to be the big pick instead of the smoke last round. Possibly going to be trying to hold a bit more aggressively actually on the site rather than roaming so much as we saw last round.
5 seconds to insertion.
Flopping mag!
Attackers are heading out to defuse the bomb.
Again, it's going to be a primarily ruins push here from the attackers as they take a lot of ground very quickly, or are hoping to at least. Probably going to be able to, as I said, I was hoping to see the defense playing a little bit closer to their chest here as they try to get a round on the board easily without too many risky plays. Seems though the Bandit and Rook outstanding just as much as before, not mattering that they are around below on the scoreboard. Going in as usual with the Fuse backing him very slowly. Almost all of the players playing over there. Bandit being still in that general area but not face checking so hard. Just playing over an Aviator there waiting for the push up from the attackers, and he's going to get it as he's droned out very quickly. It has to rotate away. The Rook having fell back to site, only being over there to set up the rotate in trophy. Bandit going to be left on his own roaming here, and probably the right decision at that, as the attackers pushing into study and now over into statuary. Easy clap finally returning for his team, going to make things a lot easier in the next few rounds. Bandit still kind of on his own here, waiting for the attack to come up through trophy. The attackers quite close on him, the Fuse pushing through. They are actually right next to each other and not noticing it. Oh no. Bandit pushing down the hallway now. These two are going to miss each other just by a centimeter. They are playing Ring Around the Rosie. What is happening right now? Bandit finally going to get noticed out by Bandit here. Finally getting the pick off. Evening the game out and able to move on. And another pick for the defense, leaving the defense in a man advantage. Having just picked off the sledge. Another pick for the defenders, not actually coming from any of the defenders, as the attacker Havana downing his teammate Monty, and now getting picked off by the Jaeger as he's able to shoot him out on to the stairs. About to commentate on Sophia's location, but it's not going to matter too much as she is picked off without a qualm by the Bandit. Now down to 2-2 on the round count. Defenders going into round 5 with a full stack and Venom to get this game over with. Not wanting to even risk giving the attackers any rounds on the board. Futa Fnatics not being close enough to possibly make a comeback here. I think what people were expecting there out of Disfigure Gaming, having seen the previous game, not surprising to see a pretty clean-cut victory for Disfigure Gaming on the defense here. Hopefully we're going to see even more of that now with a full lineup back on Disfigure Gaming on the defense, looking to clean rounds up even quicker than we've already been seeing.
defenders. Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Wall secured!
Moving over to round number 5, back to study aviator billiards for the defense. Going with a similar strategy, seeming to be very focused on getting this site set up and ready to go. Passion ensued. They are not giving any more ground to the Futa Fnatics if they can help it.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Going to be pretty clean cut in the strategy, not too many things at play right now. What we're going to be seeing here from them is simply the standard hold. That deployable shield setup, bandited the study walls, and holding a little bit of roamer presence over on the other side of the map. Rook running out, getting some early picks, and yeah, going to be looking for a second one, but is slowly getting pinched from both sides here, is not able to close it out, and is going to get refragged by that Finka there. Sticking to a spawn peak a little bit too long, a common mistake, but Bandit's going to be there holding on his usual spot on the red stairs to get picks onto the pushing attackers. Just holding angles on that doorway there. Not quite sure why they're not deciding to push in, but their decision is not mine. I can't exactly count on it. Bandit finally pushing up, deciding to make something happen, looking the wrong way. Probably going to be flicking around to the other side now. It's seeing the head of the Habana, but missing. Oh no, these are easy gunfights, guys. Rounds being lost, or at least significant ground on these rounds being lost to some aggressive plays from the defense here, putting their teammates at a significant disadvantage down on the site. Going to be the Jackal trying to get a wallbang kill onto the defenders upstairs on the actual building. The 3 remaining defenders holding down the site diligently. Definitely the position to be in here. The attackers encroaching on the building, not yet actually penetrating the site, but getting damn close. Almost a wallbang there for the Finka, the head of Rook just being evaded. Or sorry, the smoke here. See, possibly a billiards being the main attack here from the blue team. Focusing on that billiards doorway there, Rook being the main defense between them and the site. Blitz going right in. Hopefully he's going to be able to shoot the feet here to help his teammate out. Instead, though, the Blitz exposing his head from a careless ADS is going to be able to get shot down. And the Jackal not able to get any of these refrags there as Smoke is getting another pick. Fortunately, the Finka able to get that pick off onto the Rook of the defense. But Jackal looking down at the wrong time. Valkyrie had every opportunity there to get the pick off onto the Jackal beside the deployable shield. Trying to get some pre-fires off here. Jackal just not quite sure what to do with only 30 seconds left on the clock. The diffuser put down inside the site, and the defense so readily prepared, but somehow he gets a shot off anyway with the advantage of the deployable shield on his head. Now, Smoke in a 1v2 situation with 20 seconds left on the clock at a full bar of health and the diffuser in his hands. He's in a decent position to make this clutch happen. The attackers realizing they don't have the diffuser, pushing in to try to make things work. But all these smoke canisters coming into play. This is going to be absolutely perfect for him. He is in the best position he can possibly be in to make this work. Swinging around, looking for the pick onto one. He misses the shots onto the Jackal, and no, it's going to be a round win for Futa Fnatics. Again, this is not looking very strong for our favorite team. Somehow the Jackal able to get that kill there, even while being fully blinded by the Mute Jammer there with his Jackal tracking on. Really not looking great. I'm sure a lot of people's predictions being put out of the water here, as we expected there to be a much closer fight. Or sorry, much less of a close fight, much more favorite in the hands of the defense. Bit of an unintentional choke there for the Disfigure Gaming roster. Not sure they're actually intending to throw here. Seems like they're actually doing everything just fine. There is no actual intent of throwing here. But at the same time, just not able to close. For some reason, the weird strategy of Futa Fnatic able to actually work here in the second game in their favor. Getting rounds on the board and winning a lot more gunfights than we were seeing before. Also, I think this can mostly be chalked up to the weird aggressive plays that we're seeing come out from Disfigure Gaming, doing weird runouts at different points, trying things that really should never work in any sense, and did in the last game, but will definitely not be tolerated right now. Not working out for them. If they want to win this game, get stuff back on their shoulders, they're going to have to change their style, get back to playing normally, and then take it from there. But with only one round left on the board, their only hope now to even the scoreline before switching over to attack, and the worst case scenario actually being put in a 2-round hole, switching over to attack.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
And preparing some bullet hole angles here. Not quite sure where he is, actually in the hallway preparing for the downstairs push that we see so much for the attackers. Actually might be pretty accurate for this round, as they have been pushing in and out from that location quite often.
Drone active.
Jaeger getting droned out in his downstairs position. Obviously in accompaniment of that bandit, they're helping him out, but still never great to be discovered so quickly. The Jackal, sorry, I think that's the Ash there. Yes, the Ash pushing in very quickly to take ground, but goes completely past the Jaeger and gives him a free kill onto the Ash. Looking for a second pick, he's going to find the Capitao and be able to get him too, giving the attackers a 2-man disadvantage in the coming engagements that are sure to happen. See here the defense still holding flawlessly. We have the Bandit and the Jaeger still holding the downstairs very diligently, possibly having, no, they do not have the diffuser that is held by Habana, still waiting on the push in here onto Aviator. The defense rallying to prepare for the 3-person push the attackers are preparing for here in the upstairs area. Just trying to find these roamers here, starting to run out of time though. They're going to just have to try to commit to a push if they want to still leave themselves enough room to dodge and weave and prepare for whatever may happen once they enter that site. Although it's not going to take too long for engagements to start happening, as Finka falls to the Valkyrie holding down 90 there. And another pick going to the Bandit around back. It's going to be all over as Pyrie able to get a double kill with the Bandit onto the defenders, sorry, attackers, playing in Welcome Room. It's going to be all over before it even began. No push going to be coming in there, and the defense of Disfigure Gaming able to pull out a victory. Now 3-3 moving into the attack side, looking to close things out. No, I say it however I want to say it. Sorry, Meow. I'm gonna be saying it how I see it. If he wants me to correct it, that's just fine. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm just gonna be calling him what I see. Yeah, I'm not gonna be saying that. I will fight you. Prepare to get bodied. Not gonna have to focus on that right now, though. Have more important things to do than talk to you, Meow. I'm sorry. That is a bet. We'll return to that later. If we get 100 concurrent viewers on this stream, me and Meow will meet up in real life and fight after the quarantine. That is a bet. Invite all your friends if you want to see me absolutely body the 13-year-old girl that is Meow hiding behind the keyboard. Either way, that will have to be discussed at a later time. Going into round number 7 for now the attacking side for Disfigure Gaming as they plan to make something happen. bringing that ying there. Gonna definitely be assisting them as they plan for the push. Probably going for that study as... going for that study push as we see all the drones having spawned there, looking to do a very strong
10 seconds
concurrent push. Pretty strong lineup too, getting ready to take the advantage of time, not wanting to wait for the defense to get into a position where they are able to deal with them very quickly. Sophia holding a very nice angle there onto study. Unfortunately, no one's going to be in the range where it will actually make sense for him to hold that, as I don't think anyone even attempting to hold down study at the current moment.
Bomb located by attackers.
Device primed. Keep an eye. Enemy posted. Second floor.
First pick going down to Leo as he's able to easily pick off Pyre on study. Peeking around the doorway, he's able to quite easily, without taking too much health back, take out one of the top shooters of his team. Actually, the top shooter. Not going to be looking great for the rest of the round.
Stand clear. Setting traces thermotouch. Knock knock.
Seeing a few shots coming out from Evasive here, really wasting time in the downstairs, waiting for the push to come in, and just getting ready to go for that flank. Evan opening up the wall here, just waiting for the push to come in. Not wanting to make too many aggressive moves too quickly. See just angles being held by the attack. Just a flicker of Rook being exposed there to the Zofia, but it's going to be Hobana who actually takes the gunfight. Little bit of shots being taken downstairs as we see Zofia falling from, not even sure where that's from, just kind of a staring battle right now. Finally, a pick coming for the attack. The lit member of Function able to get a shot off onto the Rook of the earlier round. Only less than a minute left for the attack to make things work, but it's looking even more confident for them as Evan's able to get not one but two picks on 90, leaving it all up to the Warden and Alibi. Now just the Alibi of the defense as he's picked off, but it's not even going to be him to make anything of this coming round as he is picked off very easily by Easy Clap, putting a 4-0 victory for the Disfigure Gaming roster. Looking pretty strong there. I saw the whole roster contributing a lot, waiting till the last few seconds, and then winning the gunfights that they needed to win to make things work. Yes, Mao, that's how I cast for 8 hours in 3 days. It's because I am on crack. Actually, I think we're going on 9 hours now. Getting up there, yep. If I wasn't on crack, I wouldn't be able to make work with my absolutely destroyed vocal cords. But I do it for the community, for the people in our Discord server who want to see their favorite teams from the community battle it out for special prizes. That's why we do it. If you'd like to support us, just a quick reminder, if you can help us out, support the community, and allow us to do tournaments like this in the future by following the Twitch channel, joining the Discord server, or purchasing any of our affiliate accessories from Red Dragon. Going into round number 8, have to see some different strategy coming from the defense. After all, they did not need to switch, but they decided to anyway. Possibly just thinking that they will be better off on this side than they were on Aviator. Gonna be trying some different strategy with the Goyu there. Trying to bring something new into their lineup to possibly turn the tides of the game back in their favor, now being a round down and only 3 rounds away from a victory 2-0 for Disfigure Gaming. the attack, although there is no resistance left in that particular area, deciding to clear specifically from Study, it seems like, putting a lot of effort into clearing south to north on their tyrannical push, hoping to clear out all the roamers before focusing back onto the site. Jackal doing a bit of a solo push here, trying to take a lot of master control very quickly on his own without much assistance from his team.
Drone activate.
Going to be looking to push into walk in here. Noticing the Goyu in the corner, he's going to be looking for the shot off, going for the pre-fire, but unfortunately for him, Goyu is not going to be giving him a kill that easy. Unfortunately, though, his position being revealed by that Zofia stun coming out. Going to be cornered in that hole there, and Zofia able to get the shot easily onto him. Pushing in, not ready at all to finish with his rain. Unfortunately, though, missing the Capcan in the corner of Bathroom. Quickly refrag, though, as the buff is able to get shots off and put us at a man advantage for Disfigure Gaming. I keep falling to the Rook as the Hibana pellets suddenly revealing him. And another kill looking for evasive. Maestro also holding his back. Hibana unfortunately falling to the Maestro as too many people watching the same angle. Few shots going off. It's all left up to the Jackal now of the attack in a 1v2 situation to win the round out for his team and give him a 2-round advantage left against the Echo and the Maestro of the defense. Both 1-speeds, not very mobile people. He's going to be hearing them moving around a lot. Going to be able to get a lot of information very easily. Absolutely not ready to give up yet. Pyre just flicking like an animal, ready to make something happen for his team. The Maestro and the Echo of the opposing team playing pretty passively up until now. Unfortunately, though, that might have been a mistake as the Maestro is fallen down quite quickly. It's going to be just the Echo left, playing over by Bathroom to try to close things out for his team. It seems like Jackal, though, not having intel on where that player might be. Pushing around, noticing that he is not anywhere in sight. He's probably going to run for the diffuser here to try to get a pick off. The Echo just playing ring around the Rosie with him here. Oh, it's just going to be a little bit too late, though, as he goes for the diffuse and is not going to be able to get it. And just because of a lack of time, Rose Surge for his team on the Echo is going to be able to pick the round off. It's going to be 4-4 for both teams. Really going against the grain here of what we expected in this game. Most people expecting it to be just as close as the Coastline game was just a few minutes ago, being 7-2 in the end. A very close game now in comparison to that. Neck and neck for both of these teams, not an advantage either way. I think we've actually seen it go up by increments of 1 with no 2-round lead at any point in this game. Both teams following on the tail of each other, staying by a completely consistent cycle with not much variation besides that. Moving into round number 9, similar lineups from both of the teams. Going to be a Wamei pick, going to be the major switch for the defense here. Yep, if Disfigure doesn't win, that means that I am never going to be able to talk again, because that means I will have been streaming for 10 hours now in just a few days. Hopefully, though, at this point, my bias not being decided on anything other than the fact that I simply want this game to be over. My voice dying a little bit, drying up like a sandbank in the middle of Egypt. Soon, if you talk to me, I will be giving you the metaphysical impression of a dried up riverbed if this team isn't able to close out the game in the next few rounds. Much faith, though, still in our Disfigure Gaming roster here. Playing very strong, just losing a few crucial rounds and causing the game to go a little bit longer. Although, very impressive gun work coming in from, especially Evasive, of his team. Although they're not getting a lot of kills here, somehow still able to keep the game in line and winning enough rounds to keep themselves on an even front with the attack. Most of them actually holding down on site, being pretty consistent with their holds here, with 3 people on site and 2 roaming. That is usually what you like to see in a attacker-defender split. Buck and Jackal looking to make a play into Art Studio. Gonna have to confront the Wame playing over in the stereotypical main stair spot. First pick coming onto the top frag of the blue team, Evasive, being taken down by Function.
As my friend would say, time
Now going on double digits. Fortunately, a refrag coming in from Wame as he's able to take out the Buck of Evan, bringing us to a 4-4 situation. Jekyll taking shots at the defenders here. Would not be good if he was taking shots at the attackers. Looking to get out this Echo drone here, just onto the floor. And suddenly he is able to. A lot of utility gone there for the defense. Still an even game with 1 minute 30 on the clock. It is either team's game right now, depending on the way that these next few gunfights go. While having been opened up by Hibana, and the Jackal able to push in pretty easily now. No pressure from behind right now. He's going to be looking to take 90 and try to clear out any sort of off-site presence for his team, though. Actually in a pretty good position to get this 1A pick, and he will be able to. No! An easy gunfight being lost, fortunately refragged by the IQ, but this is the exact reason that Disfigure Gaming has not closed this game out already. Easy rounds being lost because of stuff like that.
enemy spotted. Second floor.
IQ playing around 90. Looks like it's going to be Capcan to try to get some long angles here with his SMG. Unfortunately, just missing the head of Zofia. Is able to take into the site. It's going to be just the Mozzie and the Echo left onto the site to defend the bomb. But IQ picking some pressure from the side there. It's going to be Hibana to try to get the plant down on the bomb site. Zofia holding down the cross angle. Looks like it's going to be an easy plant, as Mozzie's able to not in time get explosive onto the wall. Plant goes down, and he is not in any position to be able to push this, although health-wise he is doing just fine. All the necessary cross angles coming in here from the attack. Able to pick off one onto the lips. The IQ looking for the second, and a nice flick is going to be giving it to him. Easy Clap going to get the final kill for his team, getting them the round advantage, putting them 5-4, only 2 rounds away from a match victory and an entire tournament victory. Finally, seeming like they're getting their momentum back here. Disfigure Gaming looking to close things out. They are on a rampage as of last round. Those shots that are coming in from Easy Clap were very impressive. Able to get the refrag on his teammate Jackal as he didn't win gunfight. And now, suddenly, having gotten the second one onto the 90 rotate in the post plant. Round number 10 coming up here. This is either a evening round, again, as we've seen so far in the game, going back and forth, or the first to break the pattern, and a match point scenario for Disfigure Gaming. If they were to win this, only going to be 1 round away from a victory. Obviously, a very important round for them, things heating up very quickly. The Maverick pick coming out instead of the Zofia, probably the correct idea, as whether or not they realize it, the defense trying to pull a complete 180 on them and decide to go living room. Going to be trying to be unpredictable here as a form of strategy to combat the superior gunplay coming in from the attackers of Disfigure Gaming.
Giving them a shot. Time for protection. Device primed. Keep an eye on.
Sitting up in living room, not really sure what to say about strategy for, you know, the setup of living room. There isn't really much to say there. Not much about it that is set in stone, as Pro League or, you know, any sort of competitive play has never really shined their eyes onto any sort of living room hold. It's never been really developed because there hasn't been much potential there for any sort of strategy. So therefore, it's kind of guesswork as to what is the right way of doing a hold in living room. Going to be again a south side push for the attackers, all 5 of them looking to clear out from the south side first. Now, knowing that their attackers, or sorry, their opponents are playing first floor, going to be preparing to take that lounge area as they are doing very quickly. The Ash taking a lot of ground very quickly, holding that hallway, setting up proper crossfire angles, and getting ready to take a push on site. All the correct angles being held from the defense here. Not going to be exactly the easiest thing to do, but unfortunately missing one very vital reinforcement and giving a lot of ground to the Ash here. Able to not get the first pick. This is exactly what I'm talking about with issues for the attack here. Unfortunately, Ash giving up an easy kill is refragged by his teammate IQ, but nonetheless should have been a kill in the first place. Either way, a second one coming out from Evan on the buck is able to pick off the Legion of the defense. Unfortunately, though, refragged onto the Habana as we see a pick from the Rook. About to be a push in here from the Ash and IQ, both holding by the opened reinforcement and getting ready to make a play. Looks like Maverick going in, not waiting any longer, unfortunately gets caught between 2 targets and evening the round count out here. It's going to be Rook to swing the hallway, but look the wrong way, and Ash is going to be able to get that easy pick onto Leo. 3-2 now for the attackers, now evened out, and going to be even more so as Caveira gets the down, and possibly the interrogation, depending on where his teammate is. Oh yes, Ash holding the hallway. Seems like Caveira looking for the pick. Oh no, but he's not able to pick it off. It's all left up to Mute here on the site. Seems like the pickup is going to happen here. It's going to be a 1v2 for the Mute, left against the 2 top fragging opponents, or almost top fragging, of Evan there. With 40 seconds on the clock, and Diffuser easily accessible for them, it's going to be very possible to see this come out in their favor. Unfortunately, though, that is definitely not ideal. See one of the players losing to a Capcan trap. Now becoming a 1v1 with 20 seconds on the clock. Much more dire than it was just a few seconds ago. A random mute jammer absolutely messing up Ash's strategy. Not sure why one would be placed there, but it was, and it's completely messed up the drone work of Ash. Now pushing in her only hope here to be a actual gunfight, but at such low health it seems unlikely that he'll be able to win this. Looking for the Mute. He's not going to be able to notice it, and Mute able to get the pick onto him in the last second. A random series of misfortune able to lead Evasive to get that pick onto the Ash, and evening the round out into 5-5. Absolutely infinitely closer of a game than anybody would have expected beforehand. Not even sure what to say at this point as to just what's going on here. I don't really know what's happening with Disfigure right now. They're doing everything right. They're playing very intelligently and able to get all their refrags, but because of a random series of misfortune, like, for example, that Capcan track there in the last few seconds, or the Mute Jammer to stop the drone of the Ash, just by random misfortunes like that, they've been losing rounds, and unfortunately making this a much closer game than it otherwise would have been. Hard to say truly what the cause might be, but our only hope now for Disfigure, having been so strong in the previous game, is to just pull out and try to get that 2 rounds. It's all they need on attack. Just going to try to get a little bit of momentum going and finish the game strong before things get too hectic by going into either OT or, even worse, losing the match to their opponents and having to go to map number 3. actually, to answer Meow's question, no, I don't think that either of these teams are actually playing around anymore. Both of them putting in significant effort into this round, into all of the rounds, actually. This is truly the best that both of these teams can offer, and even with that being such a close game, they are not memeing by any standard of the word. This is absolutely a normal push that you would see from a team. Don't see any reason why they wouldn't be at full capacity right now. Well, either way, to the extent that they are able to continue playing at a decent rate, seems like still at a functioning capacity that Disfigure Gaming able to significantly win this out.
Drone activated.
Swapping mags.
Bounty sweeping. Bomb detected.
Well, you know who's not having fun, Meow, and it's me. Because whether or not these guys finally end up to closing the game out, it's going to cause me lots more time to have to come around and deal with this. Hopefully, though, we're going to actually see some momentum going here as Pyre getting the first pick onto the Echo of the defense. Unfortunately for them, though, refrag back and a nice one-tap from Zofia, putting, again, the man advantage into the attacking favored side. Again, a refrag there as Rook is able to get not one but two picks, although quickly refrag from the Zofia. Although now Zofia falling, all left up to the Capitao to make this round work, missing the head of the trophy player, and it's going to be evasive to get the final kill from his team and put the blue team into match point. Futa Fnatics only one round away from putting this onto map 3. We'll have to see what happens, but hopefully we'll see that the attackers can make a little bit of a comeback here. So it would be really sad to see them having such a high ground to start with fall so incredibly fast. Answer your question, man. If it's actually a best of 3, it's not a rematch. It's just 2 maps to go into the lead. Thermite pick coming out from Evan, probably going to be the right pick as the defenders going back to Aviator, definitely going to be needing some of that hard breach potential so that they can get that wall open and get their plant down. Because, man, we don't have time to do 3 games for every one of the 4 other matches before this. Do a little bit of calculations in your head, 4 games times a possibility of 3, that is a total of 12 matches for those 4 games, being possibly a total of over 12 hours. Would it mean we would have had to stream for 6 hours both days to make things work. No, man, if this is the possibly second to last game, if Disfigure Gaming are able to win this out, they will win the game 2-0, as it'll have to be an OT now, having been on match point for Futa Fnatics. Though, if Futa Fnatics are able to close this game out in this round, we'll go to map number 3, Clubhouse, and have to play an entirely new game to decide the final winner. No, Meow, I'm not training to become a caster. I'm fine with just where I am, and little or not, whether or not you believe it, my time is somewhat valuable. And if these teams are throwing, we'll have to see about whether or not we want to imply any sort of rules on how we want to carry this out. Going to be a steady push from Disfigure Gaming, looking to clear out some of the roamers here, get rid of some utility, and possibly get that wall open with the diffuser there.
Electronics. Drone activity.
Bomb located by attackers.
Thermite going right up, looking to get this wall open. Rook gonna be right there in front of him. If he had stayed there, possibly would have gotten exploded. But fortunately for him, able to move away and get himself to safety. Wall getting opened without much of a argument in any direction. The site being opened up is going to be a great moment for the attack, and it looks to be so. First pick going to the attack here.
My favorite part.
Many defenders holding down from site. Fortunately, a wallbang there from the Maestro is able to pick off one of the attackers, and a second one falling, almost getting a third wallbang there, but fortunately not for the attack. Falling down onto the remaining 3 attackers who try to make this comeback here. Going to be getting the trophy wall here, and trying to get picks rather than the plant for the time being, as they do not have enough of a man advantage to handle the site into their favor. Right, holding down the hallway, looking to gain some map control, get Capcan in a very good space, and looks like we're getting a rotate here from Mute to support the other players. Going to be holding down a classical hallway here. With only 15 seconds left on the clock, the attackers only have a few select options to make things work. Able to finally get one pick there. It may not be over just yet, as Thermite having to find a way to plant. He is able to get it down, though. If IQ is able to cover him, this could work in their favor. Able to get one frag off. It's going to be all down to the wire, and he's able to actually get the shot off. Now all left up to easy claps. He is only one left on his team to make things work. The only person stopping him from having to play another entire game with his team. Pushing up, he's able to get a few shots off onto the Jaeger. Looking for one, he's able to get one. Swinging around to find the Maestro. Not sure if he has the intel yet. Left at very little health. Only 23 health left. The decider between a new game and overtime match point. The Maestro creeping into sight, and he's able to get it! Easy clap, coming in clutch for his team at the very last second. An incredibly intense 1v2 clutch. Able to bring him into the lead. It's going to be IQ to secure the OT for his team. An absolute lifesaver. Unfortunate for Futa, as they're not able to close things out as they would have liked to. Being so close to being able to go onto map number 3. Unfortunately, though, not being the case. Now down to overtime. It is 1st to 8 now. So, the only chance of Futa Fnatics and coming back and going into map number 3 is going to be them to get to 8 first, either by the 2-0 victory or by one after a loss and then another victory. Down to the wire here, getting just about as intense as I think what most people would say to be the closest game so far. Our second game of yesterday being the Clapping Kitties versus the Monkey Eaters in a very close game. This game will be almost as close as we saw that one be, going all the way to the very last round. We'll have to see if this game goes to that extreme length. Whether or not it happens, though, going to be interesting. Take a look at the scoreboard here for the first time in a few rounds. See, very hard carrying coming on the orange team, though. 2 15 bombs dropped by Pyre and Function, both holding their team together like hot glue, with a bottom carry of Evan going 3 and 7, not really contributing kill-wise, but bringing the hard breach and defusing every single round, absolutely contributing in other ways.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
For the last time, I think 5 different people have mentioned this in the chat, the last time I'm going to cover this. It is very, very unlikely that Disfigure threw in any capacity to this point. I find it very hard to believe and unlikely that any team would go 1 round for 1 round in a attempt to throw, winning 1 round, then losing, bringing all the correct operators and pushing normally and intentionally throwing in normal gunfights. That seems almost impossible. So please stop trying to conspiracy theorize. I'm not going to have to deal with that anymore. It is just a close game from whatever reasoning that may be, whether it be the map, whether it be the players in it just tiring out, or maybe the members of Futa Fnatics finally warming up and coming to their true potential. The first pick coming from Pyrie over onto the Rook, an early pick in the first minute of the round, giving a great man advantage to Disfigure Gaming. Unfortunately, a refrag from Barris is able to not pick off one of the attackers. As a quick refrag from Jackal able to close the round out. Sophia able to pick herself up and continue on with the rounds. Thermite able to get the wall open and get the down onto the Echo, leaving the remaining defenders, the Maestro and Capcan, in a 2v5 with that wall open. Not too many barriers left to cover themselves on. Unfortunately, a down for the Maestro is going to be all left up to the Capcan. She's able to get one with the trap, but that's just about it. Round going towards Disfigure Gaming, now putting them finally on match point in overtime. Only 1 round left between them and a victory to close out the night. Seems like Futa Fnatics putting up a very good fight here in the last few rounds, trying to make something of this and keep themselves in the game, but being a very dominative game in the last round. Seems like Disfigure Gaming just done with the BS, now coming down to the core of their gameplay, cracking down and focusing up completely, making sure there is no room for error on their team play and coordination, getting ready to close the game out and not have to deal with this anymore. Now, for the first time in 7 rounds, going back onto defense for Disfigure Gaming. Possibly could be a game-turning moment. Depends on whether or not they perform better or worse on defense than they have been on any of the others. Seems like pretty even for both of the teams, as they have been going 1 for 1. But who really knows? We'll have to see if this is going to be an area in which they can actually proceed and get the game won, because if there was ever a time to have a 2-round lead, it would be right about now. Going to be a Aviator defense again for Disfigure Gaming, looking to close this out right in this round, bringing a very strong lineup. Absolutely nothing to argue with about their operator picks here. All strong supporting operators able to help off of each other and deal with any problem that may arise in their avenue. Little bit of roaming action here coming. Usually, I think we've been seeing a lot the Bandit and the Jaeger both playing downstairs pretty consistently on their Aviator defenses, as we remember from previous rounds. Going to be coming into contact here with some of the attackers playing over by main entrance, preparing for a push, and seems like a living room attack from the Jackal here and the Zofia, planning on taking out some of this ground and closing them in on the defense's area. Sophia taking a few bullets to a confrontation with Bandit. Jaeger going to be here to get the second pick as Bandit gets the first, putting us in a 3v5 for the defense as they both take gunfights, some more successful than others, as Jaeger taking a little bit of damage in return, but nonetheless the player count showing for itself. Now a third kill going for Pyre, absolutely on a rampage right now, done with anything, and it's over just before it even started. Your tournament champions, Disfigure Gaming, closing the game out 8-6. No longer even a competition as they crack down and finish the game. That is it. Everyone in chat, I hope you enjoyed the stream. It was a bit of a longer one, as, of course, the 3-map grand finale. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you'd like to see more of this, or even participate in tournaments or scrims like this in the future, you can join the Discord Sweat Empire to participate in any of these community tournaments, community events in the future, with the link that's going to be posted in the description. I hope everybody had a good time watching the stream, enjoying the game. Hope everybody is appreciative of your tournament champions. They will be rewarded with their rank and the prize money